They told us we live in a democracy, a system where power belongs to the people. But what if that's no longer true? What if somewhere along the way, the ballot box was quietly replaced by the balance sheet? What if the real rulers don't sit in parliaments or congresses, but in boardrooms and central bank offices, unelected, untouchable, and unaccountable? This isn't a conspiracy theory. It's a silent coup that unfolded over decades. And today, it defines how every nation, every citizen, and every paycheck is controlled. Because while we were busy voting for leaders, they were voting for interest rates. The story begins in 1913, inside a closed-door meeting on Jekyll Island, a small, private retreat off the coast of Georgia. 7 men representing the world's most powerful banking families gathered in secret. Their mission, to create a new central banking system that could control the flow of money not just in America, but eventually across the globe. From that meeting emerged the Federal Reserve, an institution that would quietly become more powerful than any president, any parliament, or any court. Its creation was sold as a safeguard against financial chaos. But in truth, it transferred the authority over money, the lifeblood of democracy. From elected governments to private financial entities, it was the first move in a game that would never end. Coup not with guns, but with gold. Through the 20th century, wars and crises only deepened the bank's grip. Each conflict from World War I to Vietnam was financed not by taxpayers directly, but through the quiet magic of debt creation. Governments borrowed from central banks printed money, and citizens paid the price later through inflation, taxation, and lost savings. By 1971, the final barrier fell. President Nixon severed the dollar's link to gold, officially transforming money into something backed by nothing but trust. From that moment on, money became power, pure, abstract, limitless. Those who controlled its creation became effectively the new architects of society. Democracy now had a shadow twin, a monetary monarchy, where unelected bankers dictated the fate of nations. In each collapse, the solution was always the same: more liquidity, more stimulus, more control. And every time the rich recovered faster. Every time the gap between financial power and political power grew wider. Governments became borrowers, banks became lenders, and central banks became gods, deciding who thrives, who fails, and who gets bailed out. It wasn't democracy anymore. It was monetary dependency, a silent empire where the votes didn't matter because the money already decided. Citizens across the globe work harder, yet own less. Housing, education, and healthcare rise faster than wages. Every economic boom leaves people more in debt than before, because this system feeds on debt, and debt is the perfect leash. Politicians promise change, but the debt clock keeps ticking. Policies shift, but interest rates rule. In the end, it doesn't matter who wins elections, because the economic framework never changes. The illusion of democracy continues, but the power to print, to lend, and to rescue remains locked behind central bank doors. That's not freedom. It's financial feudalism. John F. Kennedy signed Executive Order 11,110, attempting to return some money creation power to the U.S. Treasury. Months later, he was gone. The order was repealed. Other nations, from Libya's Gaddafi to Iceland's post-crash reformers, also tried to reclaim their monetary sovereignty. Each one met resistance, collapse, or silence. Because the moment you challenge the power of money creation, you're not just changing economics, you're rewriting the rules of empire. Cash is disappearing. Digital currencies are rising, not decentralized ones like Bitcoin. Central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, programmable money that gives authorities the ability to monitor, restrict, and even delete your funds with a click. It's control disguised as convenience, efficiency that hides surveillance. Once the system is fully digital, the ability to dissent economically or politically could vanish completely. In the 20th century, they took gold. In the 21st, they're taking autonomy. Democracy without monetary sovereignty is an illusion. As long as governments rent their own money from private systems, the people's voice will always echo through a cage. Diced. Crises aren't random. They're engineered opportunities. Every solution offered by financial elites strengthens their control. Takeaway 3. The future of freedom isn't political, it's monetary awareness. Understanding how money is created, who controls it, and how it shapes power is the first step toward reclaiming real democracy, because the coup didn't happen in one day. It happened slowly, transaction by transaction, loan by loan, promise by promise. And if we don't wake up, the final phase of this coup, the digital phase, will complete itself quietly. With no need for elections, speeches, or revolutions,